Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and many people, including myself, were a little bit worried about the Fed's U-turn or slowing down on their interest rates. So we're going to dig in basically, guys, to an article today that I think that it's important for you guys to kind of just pay attention to what's going on, because there's a lot of rumors about, the Fed's U-turn, about they're going to cut interest rates. Everyone's going to come flooding back into the market. We have to buy right now, right? So, I wanted to make this video because I've been hearing a lot about that. So you may want to pay attention if you're one of those peoples, because you guys remember there's still a lot of stuff that's going on right now, that's basically out of the norm. We essentially right now have a new construction inventory meltdown going on around the nation, a lot in Texas. But not only do we have a new construction meltdown, we also have a rental market meltdown going on right now. In some metro areas like San Francisco, some rent is down 35%, which is completely new. That wasn't like 2008. So, I believe that this crash is going to be, the wealthy are going to be the catalyst to this crash. Obviously, you guys on top of the Federal Reserve, but with the Federal Reserve's kind of shifting and tightening a little bit slower, I think that's just a sign of how bad things really are, y'all. I think that they have to curve and adjust the interest rates to avoid potentially a depression. Because one thing that I've noticed is even with the lower interest rates, the months of supply, according to Redfin, their report came out on Thursday, is up to 3.8 months. So inventory is actually shot up from a months of supply standpoint. How do you explain that, right? So, I think that we really need to tread lightly right now, guys, because remember, we still don't have a confirmed recession. We really don't have, increased unemployment, although the numbers, we don't trust the numbers. Obviously, they're counting people twice that have two jobs, but one thing that is for sure, the rental market is starting to melt down. And with the rental market melting down so much, again, in my own local house market, I found houses on the market for over 90 days that are over 20% under median rent. So with rents plummeting like that, some investors, they're not going to even be able to cash flow. When investors can't cash flow, some of them are going to have to liquidate to cash in to avoid going potentially bankrupt. So that's what I see going on right now, you guys. It's very easy for me to follow that because in my local housing market, I have so much inventory. But I forgot to mention, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is a live Q&A. You guys know how much I love doing live Q&As. I like touching, your lives. I like to speak into what's going on. Obviously, you guys know that I don't have all the answers, but do me a favor. I know this is live, but if you guys can, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment. I'm going to read an article real quick from Yahoo Finance, and then I'm going to take your guys' questions. But first, I want to say good morning. Happy Saturday. I really appreciate you guys joining this live, and I will try to get to as many questions as possible. But let's switch over to the article right now. All right. And I really appreciate you guys. Try not to look at the comments. You guys know how you guys know how much I love you guys. I already got questions. You guys try to hold your questions if you can. Because I'll start at the bottom of the list. But hold your questions, until I'm done with this. Now, I have linked this article. Let me move my picture a little bit. I have linked this article in the comments. I'll also put it in my description as well. But this is pretty good stuff here. This, again, is, this is from Yahoo Finance. They're quoting, I believe, a Fox News article. But the name of the article is U.S. Real Estate Market is in Big Trouble, Experts Warn. So I just want to get an idea of what they're thinking about, what our experts, additionally warning us about, okay? Really crazy stuff from KB. So it's going to go into KB Homes, you guys. The cancellation rate for new construction with KB, insane, absolutely insane. It's over 60%, but let's read this. As the Federal Reserve continues its hawkish market reset, which has contributed to the rise in interest and mortgage rates, real estate experts are sounding the alarm. The big trouble lies ahead for the U.S. market. Okay, so again, I know the rates have plummeted, right? Interest rates have gone down, but I'm still saying you guys be super cautious because even with the lower interest rates, and I'll show you guys real quick. Let me show you. So the interest rates as of about today, you guys can see right here is about 6.09%. It's really important to understand, even with the lower rates at 6.09%, that's still double where we were at December of 2021. That's still double where we were at December 2021. I just wanted to point that out real quick. But let's go back here, you guys. Okay, so when you have a raise and increase in interest rates like we've had, that is a big problem for housing. Interest rates are like the mother's milk of housing, kind of funny comparison. And if you cut it off, you're in big trouble. And when you've had these massive increases in interest rates, it just puts a lot of things to a stop. It's a tale of two cities. I hate to relate to politics, but more red state places like Florida and your boy in Texas, the office buildings are pretty busy. Business is booming. There's more demand and supply. It's more, I hate to say it, markets like ours, like New York, Chicago, San Francisco, is a ghost town. San Francisco's been destroyed. This is why I look at the nation, right? It's going to spread. San Francisco's being destroyed for obvious reasons. So it goes on. One of the nation's largest home builders, KB Homes, listen, guys, released its Q4 report Wednesday, which indicated more signs of housing weakness. According to the report, KB Homes saw, you guys ready? A 68% cancellation rate on new construction projects. Think about that. Think about how bad that is for a company. Now, I'm not taking anyone's side. I'm just saying, think about 68% of your business under construction, under contract, canceling. Think about that. You guys, that's super bad. I have no idea why Lennar stock is so high right now. No idea. I'm not going to go into any stock advice, but holy smokes, right? Mortgage rates also increased last week, with the 30-year rate rising to 6.48% and the 15-year mortgage coming in at 5.73%, up from 5.68% the week prior. So I'm okay. Yeah, there we go. Higher mortgage rates continue to test homebuyer affordability, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. So this is saying 6.48, but we just saw, obviously, here again, it's about 6.09% as of today. It did go up, 2 basis points right here, or 0.02 basis points right here. Not a big deal. It's pretty much sideways. So let's go on, y'all, and finish this up, and then I'll take some of y'all's questions. Fed Chair Jerome Powell warned on Tuesday that rising interest rates to slow the economy are not popular in the short term and could even create, this is crazy, political opposition. And you guys hear me, I hate politics. I never want to talk about politics. There's no way we can define people based on two strangers, right? Republican, Democrat. I hate it. But it's very interesting to note how powerful politics are, right? We can talk about how strong and powerful the politics are, but it's really interesting to note that he's basically saying that because to me, what that demonstrates is he's already feeling it, right? He's already feeling politics enter the Federal Reserve. I mean, looking from the outside in, it's pretty easy to see that. Let's keep going. Price stability is the bedrock of a healthy economy and provides the public with immeasurable benefits over time. In remarks prepared to delivery at a conference held by Sweden's central bank, but restoring price stability when inflation is high can require measures that are not popular in the short term as we raise interest rates to slow the economy. So obviously, the interest rates skyrocketing, right? Skyrocketing like they did. It's not a very popular thing. So, I don't think we're going to have the same amount of buying opportunity like we did last time, which was arguably 2 to 4 years. I think that our buying opportunity, quite frankly, I mean, it could be, if we enter a depression, we may have buying opportunities for 7 years, right? But something tells me that there's just stuff at play here that I don't understand. And I don't think we're going to have buying opportunities outside of 2 years because when they do pivot and U-turn on what they're doing, when the Fed does and they start dropping rates, there's going to be a lot more demand hit the market, especially with investors. So it's really going to be interesting to see, how much demand comes back. And I'm talking like lower rates to like 4%, right? 3-4%. I think that's going to happen. I don't think it should happen. I think interest rates should be above 5%. Let's continue. It's going to be tough. The KB cancellation rate was through the roof, something like 68%, which is just enormous. Usually that number is around 10 to 20%, at most 20%. It's 3 times higher. So I think we've got a tough road ahead this year. So they're already acknowledging, KB's already acknowledging 2023 is going to be super rough for them, which is going to be good for us if you're on the sideline like me waiting to purchase. And I think you'll start to see it in earnings towards the back half of the year and frankly into next year. I think the earnings are going to continue to deteriorate. And that's why I'm like, Lennar shorts, Lennar puts, right? Don't listen to me when it comes to anything in the stock market. But I'm just saying personally, I'm like, how is Lennar so high? It has their stock so high. Anyways, property investors sit claimed it's going to take some time for metropolitan areas to see a rebound in their commercial and personal housing markets. You guys, here's the thing: commercial real estate right now, and that's why I keep selling. The wealthy are going to lead this crash. Commercial real estate, which is like apartments, right? Commercial residential real estate. It's crushed. It's being absolutely destroyed right now. Inventory is skyrocketing. They can't rent them out. There's a high vacancy rate. Demand for apartments is going down. This is something we've never experienced. We've never experienced this before. All of these investors and REIT and all of these funds and analytics and algorithm companies, they didn't see this coming because it hasn't happened like this before. I'm going to go on. It's going to go on to rent right now. I think cities are going to wake up and try to react. I would say San Francisco's rents are probably down. You guys ready? Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 35%. 35%. 35%. No exaggeration. And it's dramatic what's going on in that marketplace. Do y'all see? The rental market right now is melting down right before our eyes. So again, it's going to be really interesting to see the impacts on that that has on prices for houses, right? More inventory, usually lower prices. Real estate investments are going where the money feels comfortable, according to CIT, who predicted the Sunbelt states might experience less volatility this year due to a manufacturing job boom. So, the job market, obviously, we know from Boise, from Austin, Phoenix, even San Francisco, the job market is going to really dictate a lot of the housing price appreciation, right? And that's just the way it is, y'all. And that's what we call kind of migration. So when people migrate to a certain area to seek out employment or job reload, it's going to increase houses. There's going to be more demand, right? Now, I hate again relating to politics, but from a global place, the autocratic countries are doing the best. Singapore, Dubai, Monaco. Some people joke Florida and Texas is part of that. You guys, I love my state because I see it all, right? And I get to see such a huge contrast as well between Austin and Houston. There's a huge difference in those markets, Austin and Houston. The world order is changing, particularly because some of the conflict with China. So you've got this tremendous onshoring wave. And so all of the Southeast now is going to get their next economic benefit. I call it the battery belt. The battery belt market of all those jobs are going to create for manufacturing is going to have a ripple effect there. So they're basically saying some belt states are probably going to be better off, right? They're probably going to stay active. They're going to stay busy, like Texas. Florida, I'm super worried about because Florida is extremely overpriced. It's extremely unaffordable, especially Miami. So I'm just really watching Florida. I'm wondering what's going to happen. It continues. Let's see, not yet. It's going to be pretty interesting. Environment in housing and building products is something to keep an eye on over the next 12 to 18 months. It's not time yet. So anyways, you guys, that's pretty much that. That's the article I wanted to read with you guys. Obviously, they're going into a bit, they didn't go into it in extreme detail, but the new construction meltdown, 68% cancellation rate. Think about that, and remember as well, when you start freaking out, because I panic as well, you guys. I hate renting, right? Right now, though, it makes sense for me to rent, but I hate renting. I feel like I'm throwing away my money, and it is, and I told you guys, and I warned you, 2023 is going to be a hard year emotionally for me, and I believe for a lot of home buyers on the sideline, because what do we have right now? We have lower rates for one, but we have little to no competition. We have overwhelming buying incentives. I have found about 3 homes now that I would purchase and be happy with, and they're under 2020 market value. So it's really hard, but I want to say real quick, guys, and I'm going to have my update video released on Sunday. Please watch my update video on Sunday. I went out to the field for 3 scenes. I'm showing you guys the house that I want to buy, and I'm going to bring you guys to show you hidden inventory for rentals and show you hidden inventory for new construction. So watch out for that on Sunday. But the thing is I'm also going to go into my own personal journey in purchasing, and I've moved my window from February to April. Okay, so my new window, my new goal to purchase is from February to April. I want to, again, Part of the reason I did that is the flip-flopping of the interest rates. I think if the interest rates would have just stayed high, we'd have had more inventory, more desperation. That didn't happen in June. It didn't happen in November. So I'm doing it, from February to April, because remember, usually at the end of February, that's when inventory starts coming back to the market. Okay. So I'm going to sit right in the middle there, transitioning from winter to basically, more of an inventory dump. So, stay tuned for that. I am getting very anxious. I mean, I'm looking at every single house, any house that comes on the market. So I get it, you guys, but let me take some of your questions. Real quick, guys, I'm just going to start at the bottom. Please just throw your questions back up. I really apologize. Let me see who we got here. How long do you? I don't want to rent at all, Jonathan. That's the thing. I don't want to rent. I don't like renting. I view it's almost a complete waste of money. Now, obviously, I've said that it does make sense for me to rent right now, because when I converted my primary residence into a rental, that was mid 2021. There was no inventory. So even if I wanted to purchase when I converted my primary to a rental, I couldn't because there was no houses, right? So the thing is I'll be renting for about 23 months, so about 2 years. So I've already done it. I'm going to be wasting about $55,000 in rent. So I need, finding the house that I love alone is worth it to me, but I need prices to essentially go down $55,000. I've already done calculations in order for me to be a winner. Right. But I'll also argue, look, less competition, more inventory. So there are other favorable things, but I'm running for, June will be 23 months, which is really sad. All right. So what else we got here? You guys throw up some more questions. I think I missed some questions. Thoughts on Los Angeles market? So I was born in West Covina. So I was born in Los Angeles, California. I grew up in the Inland Empire, Chino, actually. So that's probably why I'm a little bit off. Maybe that's where I'm from. But my thoughts are on Los Angeles, Kevin, is it's extremely, extremely overpriced. It's extremely unaffordable. I mean, that. I mean, where's the only affordable housing in Los Angeles? Around LAX, the airport? I mean, it's super expensive there. My thoughts are, even if Los Angeles goes down 30% in value, it's still unaffordable. That's my thoughts on Los Angeles, but it is on the year-over-year price decline list, so it is getting rocked right now, as is many, many places in Southern California, like San Diego and Riverside has also been on the year-over-year price decline list. So I think it's changing. How is Dubai the same as Texas? It just is, it just is. I think what it's saying is there's a lot of migration to Texas and a lot of inventory is what I think the article's point was. Let's see this. End of year, I'm convinced the deal will happen. Good. Oh, okay. So I think Jonathan's saying that they think the deal's going to happen at the end of the year. I think by at the end of the year. Throw up some more questions, you guys. I missed a couple. A lot of Dubai versus Texas questions. Take a look at Jeff here. You guys know your market, people. You should know your market better than your realtor, or at a minimum just as much. Your realtor should be there for all the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And let me add Jeff to that. And Jeff is absolutely right. I mean, I'm preaching all the time. You guys need to be experts in your own local housing market, and no one is going to care about your transaction as much as you care about it. So I'm going to add, though, Jeff, have your realtor do a market analysis, right? I say that on 50% of my videos. Have your realtor access MLS, multiple listing service, which is active live market data that generally only they can access and play with, lists and whatnot. But have them do a market analysis. Okay, so you know what a good deal looks like. All right. Let's see here. What do you mean by buying new construction doesn't have money flow? So what I mean by that, Mario, is usually new construction is priced higher than resale. And even in my own local housing market, I can't get resale homes to cash flow, meaning if I buy that house and I rent it out, I'm going to be upside down, meaning my expenses will be higher than the rent. And so with new construction being that the price is higher, is generally, not always, but generally harder to cash flow in new construction. And that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so real quick on the FDIC, you guys, I misspoke. What a bail-in is basically where the bank takes your money. Bailout is where the government saves the institutions, okay? I misspoke. I really think there's something wrong with me sometimes. I can finally say Cape. I almost said Coral. There's something wrong with me. Cape Coral. It's Cape Coral. I can never say that. So sorry about that, guys. Let me get some more questions. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, this is going. Do you buy commercial properties? I don't, Jonathan. I don't buy commercial properties. I I guess I would maybe consider that. But the thing is, guys, is you have to understand my goals in life. And my goals in life is not to take over the world and be filthy rich. My goal in life is to be balanced. And the thing is, if you invest in real estate and you do rentals, it's it is a little bit of a burden. If you're a good person, you got to judge people, and that's not something that I want to do. It's for me personally, it is a bit overwhelming. I'm not trying to judge people, right? Like with evictions and things like that. Does anyone really want to do that to someone, right? The answer is no, Jonathan. But I would consider, especially commercial, like strip malls and stuff like that. I think that would be super cool. Okay, so here's some intel, y'all, out from California. Thousands of new constructions with no buyers in Beaumont. I can't wait to see what happens. So that's really good, Jeff. I like that. Follow the new construction trail, right? See where the new construction's at. Watch that. I looked a little bit at Jeff's market as well. Jeff, dude, you're in bad shape. But what we want to see in Jeff's market is we want to see the new construction go down even more, right? Because the prices are still too high. Let's see what this is. This SR with an April timeframe. At which point should a buyer lowball? The thing is at any point, in my opinion, at any point in this market, you should lowball. That's just my opinion. Of course, I'm going to be lowballing like crazy. So the thing is, if we can purchase in April and buy a home for 20% under market value, even more than 20% under market value, I mean, then we win. And I'm not talking about peak. I'm talking about market value, right? Not peak, market value. So I think that as we go into 2023, I think that there's going to be deals that present themselves that are great deals to some people. But listen to me, I think those are going to be few and far between, right? But as we go into 2023, I think it's going to be easier for us to find great deals. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's keep going. 203K. So these loans right here. So 203K loan is an FHA loan that is designed to rehab property. It's a primary residence loan. I think it's great. I have children, so I can't do that. But if you're like a first-time home buyer and you want a house hack, a 203K FHA loan is great, but it is also complicated and it's a little bit of a tedious process, okay? But essentially what's done is after you close on the loan, the lender puts money into escrow. That money in escrow is designed for you to pull from that money to rehab the house. So I think 203K loan is a magical loan. I think it's a great loan. And honestly, if I didn't have children and I can go back in time to do things over, I'd probably buy a 4-unit to maybe do a 203K, right? Anyways, but I have children now and I cannot do that. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. I found a home in my local housing market, Riverside, okay, that is listed for price per square foot of homes before pandemic. It is new construction. Okay, so this is what I want to say, Juan. That's what we want to see. I already found one home in this tiny little Kingwood market. Remember, I kept you guys in the tiny little Kingwood market. I finally found a home that, new construction home that is under resale value. So remember what I said, normally new construction is like up here and resale is like down here. It's reversing. And if that starts reversing, resale homes will also have to reduce the pricing because ain't no one going to buy a used home if they could buy a new home, except for quality of construction, right? So we always want to keep track of that. But that is beautiful. I think, Juan, I think that's great. I think that's great. And it's only January, right? It's only January, you guys. I don't mean to yell into the mic. I apologize if I did, but it's only January. Okay, so this is my man saying right here, Richard. Travis, you need to keep waiting too, just like you told us. I believe you are right on waiting. Richard, you have to understand, man. It's so hard for me to wait. I'm well positioned. I'm ready to buy. It's hard. And the thing is, I may catch a falling knife. I have children, man. This is my primary residence. But if I do buy a house in February and April, I can promise you guys I will lowball the crap out of them. I'm not just going to go jump into the market. I'm going to find something that I love. I promise you that, and I'm going to take you through that. But remember, my position is not the same as everyone else's position, right? I'm a well-qualified buyer, and I want you guys to understand the difference. I'm not trying to say just go buy right now. I'm saying the opposite of that. right? I'm saying right now, educate yourself, enhance, the quality of your purchasing power, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Take a look at this. This is a good question right here. This is a hard one. Will market bottom go hand in hand with peak unemployment? I think I don't. I think that the labor market is super hot. Okay, when quantitative tightening started, unemployment was at 3.8%. Right now, after quantitative tightening, unemployment is down to 3.5%. So I don't think that we're going to need a whole bunch of unemployment to continue the price drops, because we're already doing price drops, right? We already have price drops. But I will say this. I think that if unemployment rate does skyrocket, I absolutely think that will affect prices. But I believe what will happen is a bailout. I think a bailout will happen. I think the government will pass something, and quite possibly, I think there's, first of all, guys, there's so many different possibilities, right? We really don't know what's going to happen. But the thing with unemployment, I mean, the labor market's just so hot. But if there's a meltdown in the labor sector, I think the unemployment is absolutely going to ripple through the economy. But we are not seeing that. We aren't seeing high unemployment right now, and the quantitative tightening and higher federal funds rate is already destroying the market. So I think unemployment skyrocketing is just going to make that worse. Are you going to jump back into the market to sell houses again? Oh my gosh! So. I got to answer this really carefully, Nikki. So if I got back in right now to full-time sales in realty, I could make 4 times more money. I know that. I get emails, people always asking for my help. But the thing is like I said, I don't need to take over the world. I just want to balance life. I don't need to make a whole bunch of money. And I'm trying to be very careful, because I believe the more that I use this channel, Real Estate Mindset, as a platform to make money, the less genuine I can be, right? I don't want to push people away, in other words, and I'm willing to sacrifice making more money to maintain the genuineness of the channel and the transparency of the channel. So to answer your question, I might get back in, Nikki, and if I do, I'm going to talk to you guys about it, because I don't want to push even one person away that needs help, right? Because if you go to YouTube, that some people create narratives to flow with lead generation. I mean, Dave Ramsey, say what you want, guys. I don't want to talk crap about Ramsey, but the guy is selling. Listen, he sells so many leads to everyone, right? He sells so many leads. He uses religion in business. Oh, it drives me crazy. But anyways, I don't know, Nikki. I don't want to get back into sales. Maybe repping buyers, which is on the front line. Selling houses is easy, in my opinion, because the house sells itself, right? And it's listed on MLS. What about new construction in Georgia? So go to Lennar and find new construction developments, and then go and search for other builders in that development, okay? Don't want to... Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going and get some more questions here, y'all. I'm just going to throw this up here. I didn't even look at it. Here in England, the sellers are in denial that prices are going down fast. Are you guys experiencing the same thing? So JW, a bit, yeah, for sure. But the thing is I got to be so careful saying this, because I don't want to upset you guys. But some sellers, I don't think that sellers are in denial, and I don't think let me change that. I think that some sellers are in denial, but I don't necessarily think that all sellers are greedy. You have to understand that they're also a victim of the market. I mean, they're trapped in their houses now. So now it's just flipped on them. So I don't necessarily look at it as much as denial as quantitative tightening. I mean, we got flip-flopped here. We got rug pulled and flip-flopped, and like, what the heck is going on? So it is sticky, right? The prices are sticky though, but as the days on the market continue, I'm seeing price cuts. If people want to sell right now or the next maybe year or two, they're going to have to get creative to sell. I mean, that's the fact of the matter. And I know that hurts, especially people that are retiring. So just don't sell right now, right? Where is new construction still hot in California? I'm not sure. I would have to research that. I know there's new construction a little bit going on in San Diego and Beaumont as well. Someone made a comment about Beaumont. All right, let me get some more questions knocked out here, y'all. That's funny. What is the story behind your current You guys, we almost lost the intro song. I put a poll out. The thing is I've done over 500 videos and in 10 months. So I got 500 videos out in 10 months. And I always just like to, make sure that you guys are kind of flowing with me, right? So I put a question out: should we change the current intro music? The poll was 53 to 47. You guys want me to keep the intro music? I'm going to keep it. But my God, did you see some of those comments? Those guys are trying to roast me. It's so funny. But anyways, the story behind the music is okay. I'm in love with you is me kind of basically talking to the housing market. Okay. I love you guys. All right. I do love you guys. I'm also talking to you. Okay. I do love you guys. I'm just actually saying it. I'm not singing it. But the I'm in love with you part is like me saying, anyways, this is just my creative head that I love the housing market, but I ain't touching it. Right. I ain't touching it. I don't want to touch it right now, but I do love it. So that's the story. And then the astronaut, don't even ask me about the astronaut. I go way in left field about that. Good loan. Any thoughts on USDA loans? You guys, this is a good loan. I may do a video breakdown on conventional VA and USDA. I did a breakdown on FHA. USDA loans are really good. But one really important thing to note on USDA loans is that the property needs to be in a qualified area. So the property must be in an eligible area. You have to go to USDA's website, put in the address of the property, and it will tell you if it's eligible. If it is eligible, it is a great loan because it's essentially 100% financing, a lowish interest rate, and it comes with, it's not necessarily mortgage insurance, but let's just call it mortgage insurance, but it's super, like barely any mortgage insurance. This advantage is it's typically a double underwriting approval process. The lender has to approve the file, and then they send the file to USDA to re-approve your file. So it's usually like a 60-day closing, but I think it's actually a really, really great loan, but it's specialized in rural property. And that's why the property has to qualify. Okay, let's see. My credit cards, defense. Yes, it's true. Let me see some questions here. Oh, this is funny. Yes. I'm just going to say, okay, so are there nasty bugs and snakes in Texas? Do you find them in your house? Well, Eddie, thank God I do not find them in my house. But I'm from Southern California, and I have to be honest with you, brother. So when I first got here, I met up with my sister at Lake Conroe in like a little RV park for like vacation. And upon arriving, I witnessed a minimum of 12 snakes swimming through the water. That was my introduction to Texas. So ever since that day, I said, I ain't never, ever jumping in no water in Texas, because what the heck? They got in Southern California, we didn't have no swimming snakes. So yeah, there's swimming snakes out here, brother. So that does suck. And the mosquitoes are out of control. Okay, comparing from Southern California, mosquitoes out of control. The ants out here are like fire ants. You get blisters. I didn't have that in Cali. It's like, why are these ants giving me blisters? Biting flies that insect spray doesn't work on. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky out here, but it's not like Australia, brother. It's not like Australia. Let's keep going down. Okay, let me see here. If a buyer makes an offer, should the offer include earnest money? If the offer is accepted, then you need to get your earnest money. And in Texas, it's called option money, which gives you time to do your inspections and to back out. That money needs to be given to the title company generally as soon as that contract's executed. So I would say if you're going to make an offer, have your earnest money and your option money ready for sure. I know. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't follow me, right? Don't follow me. Because I believe that if I buy, as of right now, if I buy from February to April, I'll be catching a falling knife. All right. So I want to make that clear. So don't follow me. But I also am going to underbid like crazy. I'm going to lowball like crazy. I'm not just going to jump into a house. You guys should know that, right? I'm going to grind these people down so hard, you guys. You have no idea how I'm going to be mean, quite frankly. And that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah. So you know what? I'm going to say, I think that most first-time homebuyers, especially, you guys probably should wait possibly to 2024, but that depends on if the government passes any new legislation to bail out people, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but if it wasn't for like politics and stuff, right? Let me take the politics and the election year out of the equation. I think like normal first time home buyers should probably wait until 2024. I believe that well qualified buyers that understand their housing market, that understand what a great deal looks like, I think that some of us are going to be able to find a great deal this year. I'm pretty sure of that, actually. I'm pretty positive of that. But again, find the great deal. I don't think great deals are going to be at the surface. I think we're going to have to hunt a little bit. And I hope that you guys are learning how to do that on some of the videos. But overall, Kim, I think that most people should wait, quite frankly. And that's 100%. All right. But just understand the specificity. Okay, were you waiting until you have 2 years of positive taxes until you bought? No, I have positive taxes now. I actually have 5 Schedule Cs. And she's saying that because normally in order to qualify for a loan, you need 2 years of self-employment income to be able to use that as qualifying income. We got Johnny I Fly in the house. Let's see. If you were in a position to buy a whole bunch of rentals in 1 or 2 years, would you buy, and what kind of house would you buy? Here's the thing. I've thought about this. Excuse me. My throat is a little bit scratchy right now. Probably all this talking and yelling at my children. So, good question. I'm scared. Originally, my plan was to buy, excuse me, guys. So sorry. Was originally to buy an investment property, but with the rental market melting down like it is, I don't know if I'm going to buy in the next 1 or 2 years a rental property, because the fact that in my own local housing market, I can find listings 20%, you guys, 20% under median rent, and they still can't get it rented out, freaks me out. So I don't know, man. I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. I'll be watching though. Okay, let's keep going. All right, couple more. Let's see what other questions. Oh, my man, haven't seen you in a bit. Thank you, sir. It's nice to see you. Is Dave Ramsey is bought? True. Question, here we go. Have you learned anything new or insider info on what's wrong with Wells Fargo? Well, so the thing with Wells Fargo, let me specify here. So Wells Fargo is still lending to their existing customers. The article did not say any new customers. So I don't know if they're helping new customers, but they got out of the correspondent lending, and correspondent lending accounted, I believe, for like 50% of the residential mortgage lending profit. So they basically shut that down. That's pretty huge for pretty much every bank that uses them in the correspondent channel, because how it works is there's a whole bunch of lenders. They lend their money, but they need more money to continue to lend. So they lend their money in the short term, and then they usually sell that money to companies like Wells Fargo. So they sell the money to Wells Fargo so they get more money to lend. So usually when they're selling in the secondary market, a lender will pick up an extra 0.1 to 2 points of profit. You see what I'm saying? So now Wells Fargo is gone, right? So Wells Fargo is no longer doing that, which is very intriguing because they're very aggressive with taking market share. Let me keep going here. Okay, so poorly. They will probably react extremely poorly if the government shuts down. How will markets and housing react? Riots. I mean, it's not good right now, right? If the government goes down like that, that's probably going to create some pretty massive problems, guys, obviously. Here's a good question right here. The big question is, how long will the Fed stick to its guns? If they pivot too soon, game over. So that's a good question. I believe they're not going to last past Q. I think after Q2 is when they're going to pivot or U-turn. And the reason is the recession. I think they pivot after a confirmed recession. I hope we're confirmed recession right now, which would be Q4 2022 and Q1 of 2023. But if Q4 2022 comes out positive GDP, but here's the other thing, you guys. If I'm not mistaken, we had higher unemployment the last 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. So if we have 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP this time around, but yet unemployment is lower, and the White House has changed the definition of recession, will they even call it recession? I don't even know. right? There's just so much changing of definitions. It's pretty sucks. All right. Okay, let me keep going here, you guys. I mean, there's so many people. Like people are like, I hate the intro song, or like, oh my god, I love the intro song. Guys, I got to keep it. You know, especially all of my core subscribers that were with me from the beginning. You guys know the pains that we went through for the intro song. But some people hate it. It's crazy, the hate, and then some people love it. So I'm just gonna keep it for now. And then some people like look at this guy, ABT. Some people hate the bonkers, and some people love it. APT, just skip ahead, man. You know, we really don't need to hear all of the complaints. I mean, I get so many complaints. I'm like, well, did the data help? Right? Did the data help? You know, I mean, really, it's about the data. But I'm going to keep the bonkers thing going. APD. I try to remove it because, again, I've said it over 500 times, so it really hurts me to keep saying it. But the thing is there's an episode or two where I didn't say it, and I got roasted for not saying bonkers. I got roasted from my viewers, so I got to keep it going, man. All right, I'm gonna just say it is bonkers. Sorry, man. Sorry. All right, let's see. Sean and Wendy, what's up, guys? We are moving to Naples, Florida. We'll rent again as we wait. Do you think we can get Steve to represent us? We will. We were excited to find out he lives in the area. Yeah, I think so. You know, reach out to Steve Daria. I talked to him a lot. He's actually he's just got back to YouTube. Obviously, he went through the hurricane. There was a lot of damage, but he's back to YouTube. But I would just say reach out to him. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I'm sure he would help you for sure. See, I mean, look at this. So someone's like, "Oh, never say the bonkers," and then my man Kevin comes out and says, "Dude, wear the t-shirts." Do y'all see how hard it is to be a content creator? Like, it's so important, you guys. Two things that caught me off guard. I never expected so many people to help so many people. So humbled. And then the other thing that's really hard is, as a content creator, it's really hard, like the mental health part, because I want to make my viewers happy. So it's just really important as a content creator to stay genuine. You have to take into consideration what your viewers want, but you also have to maintain being genuine. And the problem that some content creators have is they get too lost on what other people care, like how other people care about them, which is there's just a balance, right? Is what I'm saying. But thank you, Kev. I appreciate you. All right, let's keep going. So is buying in Austin in April too soon? It depends on the deal. It depends on the deal, man. You know, it depends on the deal. Austin's already down 22% from peak. It's up 380% in inventory from January 2022. So if you could find a great deal right now, find a great deal right now. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so this is he's been on my channel. Censorship has been on my channel for a while, so that's why I'm throwing it up here. A little bit tacky, but he brings up a really good point. There's stuff outside of what's going on in a local housing market, right? There's stuff across the world that actually may lead to our housing market to be even more destroyed. And I think that's what he's saying. And honestly, you guys, I would agree with him. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's so much dust in the air right now. There's so many things that are way different than 2008. Some things better, some things worse. Like, what's better is the foreclosures, modifications, right? The keeping people in their houses, way better. And also the loans are way better. So we got things that are better, and then we have things that are way worse than 2008, like unaffordability. There's more homes under construction right now than 2008, by the way. Very interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what will happen if the government shuts down. What happens to VA and Section 8 housing? I don't know. That's a really great question. That's a really great question. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about Section 8. Okay, so Mario, yeah, man, just shoot up a question. I'm in Houston. Just email me. You guys, I keep my email in the descriptions because there's so many bots that act like me and try to scam you guys. I don't understand why there's so many bots, but that's why I keep my email in my description. So you can email me and I'll do the best I can, man. Yeah, USDA. So we got some intel right here on USDA. It's saying it's a great loan, and I would agree. A little bit frustrating again in the approval process. So let me just let me just say this again. So when it comes to local housing market, the really important thing is teaching you guys how to do this yourself, right? It's teaching you how to do it yourself. So start with Altos Research. Altos Research. Put in your zip code, see what the trends are doing. Then go to Redfin Data Center, see what the trends are doing. And then after that, contact a realtor. Why a realtor? One, you can interview them. And number two, they have access to the multiple listing service, which provides you live data for the market you're interested in. Once contacting your realtor, have them do a rental market analysis for 2 years and have them do a price market analysis for 3 years in the area that you're interested in purchasing. All right. So try that. I'm serious. I think it will be good. Okay. I'm just throwing some stuff up here, guys. I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes and then I got to get to work. How much do you think these flippers, HBs, and forced appreciation guys are wrecked on these rates? Is forcing selling here for out-of-state investors? It's forcing. So okay. So basically, what I think Randy is saying is he's basically just pointing out that the interest rates going up is forcing investors to sell their houses. I think is specifically the flippers, like OfferPad, Open Door, right? And flippers get wrecked because flippers count on equity, right? So when the equity goes down and the market stalls, they get trapped in the house, right? Let's see here. What kind of snakes? Water moccasins, Kim. Super scary, man. Super. I just imagine I'm just swimming in a lake and there's all of a sudden out from the abyss, like 5 snakes hit me in the stomach. I don't know. My mind's all over the place sometimes. Okay, should we hold out in Dallas? Seems houses are still selling. The question is, I don't know. Why don't I know this answer? Because I don't know what your goal is to buy, and I don't know if there's great deals out there right now. I would say that I'm going to just say that it's probably best to wait everywhere. It's overall, I'm just going to blanket statement. It's best to wait. I believe right now, the longer we wait, the better deal that we get, and we're already seeing that in the data. If we really look at the data, so I think you're going to start seeing more change after February. I think all markets will start seeing more change after February because, again, usually after February, that's when the inventory drop starts. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. That's funny. Some of these questions are funny. All right, let's go. I love snakes. I have 4 of them. I mean, I'm not trying to hate. I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm trying to hate on snakes. They just freak me out. Snakes and spiders freak me out, but sharks don't. I absolutely love sharks. All right. All right, come on, let's keep going. Let me get where's questions. A lot of snake questions. How much of your month? Okay, so this is a good question because it reminds me of debt to income ratio versus residual income calculations. Debt to income ratio is like conventional FHA. Residual income calculations is like VA. And actually, VA, I can actually get qualified and approved up to 62% DTI. So this question, you can't really put a percentage of that because what if someone makes $20,000 a month? 70% of their income can go to bills and they still have a whole bunch of money left over. But if you only make $2,000 a month and 50% of your income goes to your mortgage, that means you only have $1,000 left to live on. So percentage, I just don't like using percentages because a lot of the DTI, except for VA, is based on gross income. It's not even net income. So I would say that you just got to get comfortable. You got to get comfortable. I would say right now that like as far as our rent is probably going 15% of our income. So like the lower the better. You don't want anywhere near 50%, in my opinion, what you can get. Okay, so this is my math. So I don't know if you guys know. So Fish and Trips was actually, what's up right now? So I started actually on YouTube on a fishing channel. You know, I love cinematography. I love drone shots and transitions from water to land. I love being creative and it's super fun. And this is the man that actually guided me. So, you know, a lot of it is he's responsible. Help make Real Estate Mindset. This man right here, he was really the only one that helped me. So watch this stuff, you guys. If you guys are interested in fishing stuff, this is the man that trained me on how to talk on camera. Okay, because when he knew me, when he was helping me, you guys, I was like trembling and like scared, and I couldn't even breathe because I was so nervous on camera. So that's my man right there. And also he's pointing out that, and he's talking about Houston. So definitely some price cuts in Houston. Check him out. I love him. You know, he's far superior than I am on camera. That's for sure. But I hope that my editing right now, my editing, I stepped on my editing, not on this channel, unfortunately. These are talking head videos. I do not, absolutely not. I think it is a horrible time to purchase investment property right now because it's getting destroyed. It's definitely a falling knife, in my opinion. Let's keep going here, guys. I'm going to go for another 5-10 minutes. Take a listen to this, you guys. This is a good one right here. This is really, really good. All right. So does buying off market have to be all cash? No, it doesn't have to be all cash. Not at all. Off market is basically just essentially means that it's not listed on MLS. It has nothing to do with the financing. And I don't believe most people okay, I have to be really careful here, but I don't believe people should be paying all cash in this environment. I think that people should take advantage of lending right now and save liquidity because it's very possible that there's going to be additional buying opportunities. So I think that people should stay liquid, especially right now, to be honest with you, unless you have a whole bunch of cash. If you have a whole bunch of cash, by all means. All right, let's keep going here. Countrywide, anyone remember Countrywide days? Wells Fargo actually, if I'm not mistaken, bought Countrywide. So really interesting if you think about it. Countrywide, geez. Is negotiating with companies such as Lennar, KB Homes, DR more difficult than non-home builders? I'm going to say absolutely. I'm going to say overall, Juan, that if you go to buy a new construction home, you need to like be prepared by having thick skin because again, in my opinion, and I've been doing this for a long time, so for me, it's really easy to see through people that are nonsense, right? Especially sales agents. I mean, I could tell within seconds. And what I've noticed at new construction is these people don't know what they're talking about. And they don't have to know what they're talking about because generally they're not licensed like realtors and they're not licensed like loan officers. And they know that. So they know they can get away with nonsense. And not only that, there's the steering, like you must use my lender, or we're not going to give you incentives. It's dirty and it's ugly. And if you don't go in with it, I can go on and on about it, but the answer is yes. It is more difficult generally when dealing with new home builders. Okay, let's see here. Let me keep going. Haters gonna hate. Deuster, I see you, brother. This is a hard one because Orange County is, what would you say, probably the strongest county in Southern California, would you say? I actually went to high school in Orange County, but Orange County got rocked last time. That's where I've had my foreclosure, in Orange County. So I had a foreclosure in Orange County. It's not a fair question. Thing is it's extremely unaffordable in Orange County. So I think it's going to crash just like last time, to be honest with you. Appreciate you guys. I'm getting some love. Oh my gosh, I'm way up on the question. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm going to just try to get a couple more questions here. You guys give me some really hard questions like with credit, contracts, loans, like hard stuff. I'm going to get some hard stuff here. Steve Daria is the man. Bonkers. Love you guys. I love you, Bonkers. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm not going to get... I'm flip-flopping on the shirts. I just don't want you guys to think that I'm just trying to milk you for all your money, right? So I'm like, I don't even want to push one person away, and that's why I don't do the shirts. How long should I offer on homes that are on... How low? Miguel, as low as possible, my friend. As low as possible. All right? Go 20% off. Depends on your market as well. Here we go. Here's a question right here. With rising mortgage defaults and carried credit card debt by consumers, who gets the bill when the bad debt house of cards collapses? Mark, who always gets the bill? We get the bill. The people that are like affording to live, the people that are sacrificing right now to get ahead, we're going to pay. We always pay. but it's still worth it to do the right thing. It's more expensive and it's more difficult to do the right thing, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Dang, it frustrates me though sometimes, for sure. I don't want to pay for half of these things. I pay a lot of taxes too. What's up, Mark? Nice to see you, man. Intro song bonkers. I love you guys. I love you guys. I don't think it leads. I don't think lots lead to the decline. I think, like I said, new construction leads to it. Rental market collapse leads to it. The wealthy is, being the catalyst. It's going to be interesting to watch land value, though, for sure. Rural. Okay, so what type of property qualifies for USDA loans? Remember, I said go to USDA's website. On USDA's website, they have a property eligibility section there. You click that section, you type it in, but it's for rural property. USDA is for rural property. But like some places that they consider rural, I wouldn't consider it, like in Conroe. I don't consider Conroe rural, but they do. Some areas. Appreciate you guys. Real estate prices will drop to meet the trend line. Why wouldn't they? What mechanisms made housing suddenly worth? Exactly. So this is something I hold on to all the time, because people are like, it can't crash without hyper supply. It can't crash without unemployment. It can't crash without foreclosures, but yet it already has. At least in Austin. So, and that's because it went up 30% in 2 years based on what? Lockdowns. The properties went up because of lockdowns and COVID money. It's not real. So anyways, I agree with Phil. Sorry for that rant. Let me keep going, guys. Question. It depends on what they do leading up to the election. If they drop rates to 2%, is it going to slow down? Who knows what they're going to do, Johnny? I don't know what they're going to do, man. It freaks me out. I don't know what they're going to do. And that's why I'm saying stay aware. It starts with awareness. Don't be afraid, but be aware. Let's keep going here. I'm almost done, you guys. I got to get out of here soon. Here's a good one. What's your advice for this? Also a good one. I'm weighing the pros and cons of building my own land versus buying a house if prices continue to fall. Should land owners get a realtor if they're thinking about building a house on their own land? I would get with a builder. I would get with a reputable builder first and start interviewing them, start going to reviews. A really, really good thing that we have as an option is we can type reviews in Google. Like, for example, I put Lennar reviews. You guys, seriously, right now, type in Lennar home reviews. Oh my gosh, really bad. So honestly, though, I think building is the way to go. Usually, if you build your house, you have equity when you're done completing. It is a little bit of a tedious process, but I like building, to be honest. And if you can do that with a reputable company and you're safe, then you should do that, possibly. My advice is to cash buyers in this market is spread your cash out. You may want to get a little bit of a loan for some of it, because even at 6% interest rate, 6.5%, that's still relatively lowish, right? Depending on if it's an investment property loan, which would be higher interest rate. But I think you should spread your cash out and not waste all your cash on one property, to be honest with you. It's another one about cash. Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys, okay, one thing I learned is when I first started shark fishing from shore, and it's all catch and release, we provide the data for conservationists and research, and I've done satellite tags, things like that. But what I first learned is when I first started fishing for sharks, I was dropping the bait too far. Sharks are a lot closer than we think, a lot closer. But they get scared of us for the most part. Let me see what we got here from Johnny. Do you have an LLC for your YouTube channel? If so, it is just for the channel or shared? I don't have LLCs. I used to have LLCs. I just don't like LLCs. It's just a lot of paperwork. And I don't have a big enough asset portfolio where I think I would need that protection. It's something I'll consider, but I don't have that right now. Stock on builders, maybe you could short companies that are in real estate. If you would have shorted Open Door, I was thinking of Redfin, but if you just shorted Open Door, you'd have made a lot of money. I don't want to talk about stocks though, for obvious reasons. Let me keep going here. Okay, so I've changed my window to purchase. Again, you guys listen to what I'm saying. I think that if I buy in 2023, first of all, I'm going to lowball. I'm going to go and try to get a crazy offer. I think I'm be buying when the knife is still falling, right? So I hope you guys understand that I'm saying that. And I'm also extremely well qualified, but I've changed it from February to April in that window because, again, after February, that's generally the inventory starts skyrocketing again. So I want to wait a little bit till I have that skyrocketing inventory, and that's why from February to April is my new buy target date. So can I explain the VA loan process? Good question. Good question. Title insurance is also a good question. So the VA loan process is like any other process, except a little bit that's added to the process is getting a COE. Generally, that's done from a DD 214. COE is going to tell you your eligibility for VA loan, but it's a normal loan. You contact a lender, they fill out an application, you send in your qualifying documents, they update the application, then they run your file through automated underwriting. Great loan, no down payment generally, no mortgage insurance, low interest rate. One disadvantage, funding fee, VA funding fee. I think it's 2.65%, and then subsequent use, I believe it's 3.15. So the funding, unless you have a disability, it's completely waived. Good question. I don't think that's a bad idea. It just depends on the price. It depends on the builder. It depends on the rental market in that area, right? Title insurance. So what is title insurance? A waste of money, am I right? So, and expensive. So a title insurance is, I'm just kidding. If you're in title and you're listening to me, you know I'm joking. But title insurance covers the new owner from any liens that come up on title. Basically that someone can sue you. So the title insurance company is guaranteeing and insuring your property from any claims or judgments or liens from the past, right? Which why would pay so much for that? But anyways. Okay. So here's the thing, you guys. I'm glad that she brought this up. There are so many bots. All right. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I'm not trying to ask you to call me. If anyone is acting like me, trying to get you to call them, wants any money from you, it's not me. I only keep my contact information and I don't even advertise it because I don't want people to reach out to me necessarily. I keep my information in my description. And I'm only giving you my email. So I try to get on top of it as soon as possible, but you guys they'll start at 2 a.m. and go on every single one of my videos. It's just so crazy. And I have moderators that help me, but I don't know who these people are, but do not send me any money. I will never put my information in the comment section for that reason. Okay. Appreciate that. That one was super cold. That Christmas video, man, that was cold. There's nothing to replace it. I'm scared in the future, decades, maybe 20, 30 years from now, but there's nothing that can replace it. I would worry about some type of electric currency, but I'm not really worried about the dollar because who's going to take over? Yen? Is the yen going to take over? I don't know. Let me keep going, you guys. I'm almost done here. Seeing a lot of sellers' concessions as part of the deal. Who really pays for incentives? Should a buyer get involved in concessions? Yes, the buyer wants concessions. So the seller pays that from their proceeds. So if a seller gives you concessions, like if the seller pays your closing costs, they're going to forfeit some of their profit. So for example, if I make an offer on a house for $200,000, but I ask for $5,000 towards closing, really that offer is $5,000 less because the seller pays that. So really the offer is how much? $195,000. See what I'm saying? So, okay, in reality, I mean, if the interest rate's like 100%, right? But in reality, price is way more important than interest rate. I can show you guys right now that if you waited from peak to now, even though interest rates are higher right now, you can save on average $50,000 to $60,000 because the price. And not only the price, the way that loans are amortized, you pay the interest before the principal. So I mean, I would normally say in my opinion here, but it is a fact that generally price is more important. I'm just going to say that's a fact right there. Let me keep going here. Let me try to just pull one more. I'm going to take one more question. I just want to see if I could get one more good question here. There's some good questions. Jeez. I'm reading some of these comments about y'all's local housing market. Pretty wicked, man. Really wicked. Cash is king. Okay, we got censorship. Talk about XLK shorting it. JJ, look at this. 8% bank loan defaults. That would be super bad, right? And if it happens, it's because of unaffordability, obviously. Let me just try to get one more question, guys. And I just wanted to, as I'm looking for a question, I just want to let you guys know I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys watching me. I just want to take this as an opportunity to tell you guys I didn't expect this. I did not expect to come up on YouTube. I originally just started doing YouTube videos. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I started doing these videos, you guys. So just wanted to take a minute to say I never expected this type of recognition. And that means a lot to me and my family. So you guys, thank you. So maybe you understand now, like I don't want to get leads. I don't want to sell houses. The moment I do that, I feel like I would be like, I just don't want to push people away. I don't want people to get the wrong impression of why I'm here. And you guys, the reason I'm here is I lost everything and I don't want you to as well. Plus I'm a realtor, loan officer, instructor. So I know like all kinds of stuff about real estate, right? The hell that followed when I lost everything, like foreclosure, bankruptcy, repo, tax lien, the mental turmoil of that, I mean, it ruined my life. It ruined my life for a long time. Sorry for that. Let me keep going. Pearland is a good area. Those bots are scammers from India and Africa. Appreciate you reporting them immediately. All right, this is where I'm going to end. I'm going to describe my definition. This is my definition of a well-qualified buyer. Number one, you understand your market. If you don't understand your market and you don't understand what a great deal looks like, you are not a well-qualified buyer, in my opinion. You can get wrapped up in the wind no matter how well qualified you are. So number one, you need to understand your local housing market. You must understand your local housing market. I preach all the time how to do that. Number two, you can't be drowning in consumer debt. If you have even one credit card you can't pay off, you can't afford to pay off, you should not buy a house, in my opinion. I understand debt to income ratio, but if you can't pay off a credit card, what makes you think you can handle going through a recession? So the number two thing is no consumer debt. Number three, have a lot of money saved. Have 6 months of, have 6 months to a year of your mortgage payment saved. If you got 6 months to a year of your mortgage payment saved after you close, also well qualified. And also, make sure you have multiple sources of income and prepare for the worst case. The worst case being recession, loss of job, right? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best by all means, but prepare for the worst. And that is my definition, y'all, of a well-qualified buyer. Now, other than that, I'm going to put out a video today. Catch my evening video. Definitely catch my market update video tomorrow. I'm taking you guys into the field. But other than that, guys, I really appreciate you following along this journey. I hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck. And I hope you win. And thank you again for watching.